Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. I am going to do a spotlight on Tucker, my grand dog who's approaching a year. He's a toddler now. Give you a tour of my grow light station, show what I'm growing, and then we'll get out to the garden. All this chaos is from him. Tucker. So he's a bit of a handful, but he's a great dog. So wait for it. I'm going to call him, show you his tricks, then we'll get to the garden. Tucker! Okay, sit. Sit. Too close. Sit. Okay, down. Okay, bang. All right, up. Spin. Okay, sit. Fist pump. Freeze. Freeze. Hey, hey, one more try. Freeze. Good boy. You gotta love him, right? Today is the 11th of January. It's actually 60 degrees today. Gonna be 60 tomorrow. Look at that stink bug. Let's get rid of that. For some reason, they find their way into the farmhouse. Hopefully they're not nesting somewhere. Anyway, today is the 11th. I've been growing these for about 3 weeks just to get them up to speed so I can talk with you. I'm in Maryland Zone 7. Here are some of the plants that you can start now. And then we'll get out into the garden and I'll show you what I've been building out there. We've just had crazy weather. This is asparagus. You can get that started indoors. I recommend, going into large containers. Tomatoes, peppers, not right now. They go out about 6 to 8 weeks for tomatoes, 8 to 12 weeks for peppers, before you get average nights of 50 degrees where the soil is warm. These are for future videos. Back in there, I've got some lavender. You can get your lavender, your rosemary started right now. You can also do perennial flowers. These are Shasta daisies. That's a purple coneflower, and then I got my herbs going. I have thyme, oregano, more lavender, some rosemary, and what is this one over here? And this is verbena. So you can get your perennial flowers going, and this is also right in here, mint and some spearmint over there. Those you can all get started now. They're very hardy plants. You can keep them indoors 10 or 12 weeks, and they'll do really well. You just want to develop really good root systems, and they can take a frost, so you don't have to worry so much about catching the spring temperatures. Also started leeks. These are onions. You can start them about 10 weeks before they would go outside. Again, they can take a frost, so I'm getting those ready. And then I have some more lavender, rosemary in there, that far left corner. If you have strawberries, you can start strawberry seeds. And then more tomatoes and peppers, and again, it's too early for all of them. But in the middle of January, you can get some herbs going, you can get flowers going, leeks, onions, and some other plants. So you can kind of get started if you're, itching for the spring to start, but save the tomatoes and peppers for much later in the season. All right, let's get out to the main garden. A lot of my container plants are still surviving, even though it does get into the low teens sometimes. It's just not prolonged, so they're surviving. I'm going to transplant those in a future video. Here's the area that I got to clean up. This is where Tucker took that flat that was out there, the black flat. It had the strawberries that are in the middle there. I had a bunch of transplants growing in there, but of course he got to them. Let's walk over to the main garden. I'm going to be filling these beds up this weekend, probably doing some sort of layering method. Took the top off my cold frame. Everything is doing really well in there. Be harvesting some stuff out of there today. So inside the garden, it looks like it's spring. Stuff is still alive. Cleaned it up a whole lot. I think this year, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I'm going to do this as sort of a family station. If this was just a family garden, I'll show you what you can grow in that space. And as we walk around, I'm going to be doing something like that too, so you can get some ideas of, if you can't grow in full beds, you could use containers or something like this. Just show you everything you can grow. Kale, broccoli, I even have broccoli starting to head, which hopefully that'll get a little bit bigger. Just shot a video on filling this with 4 layers, and then it's going to be a no-dig garden. I'm going to try and really practice that principle where I'm not constantly turning over earth. When you get to larger gardens, you want to kind of figure out a way to do less work but have a wonderful garden. Cattle panel went up. I did a video on that. We'll just go ahead and walk through there. And these are just some of the ways that you can use the cattle panel. Those are just T-posts with a single piece. The panel is 16 feet. So when you bend it, you're going to get an 8-foot arc. And I have a lot of stuff is just staying green. Going to clear out the peppers, get my compost working for 2020. And here's a bigger tunnel. And I just inserted those into these frames so that I can pull it out as I need to. And I also like this, going to be filling these beds. This is just a basic arch dropped into these 12-inch 2x6 beds, which I think will be great for cucumbers or for melons. And this is where I'm at. Again, it's the 11th. It feels like spring, so you might, get the urge when you get that warm break in late February or March to start planting all your stuff. But sure enough, the frost will come back, so you got to be patient. Maybe you can get some stuff started indoors. So this is just a quick tour of the garden. I think we should end it by going over and saying goodbye to Tucker. Hey, Tuck, you want to say goodbye? Come on, up, up. Come on. Say goodbye.